this matter earlier, we had filed in nature of a PIL, but strictly it didn't fall under the rules because it is in our interest itself, because it's more like a class action of the Association of Nurses of various central government-run hospitals.
So initially filed it as a PIL?
Initially we filed it. We have withdrawn it. I'll just point out to that order, Your Lordships. That order is at page 62. It's that note. But there's no. Page 62, Your Lordship.
All right, yes.
So we had withdrawn it with
Yes.
I just wanted to bring that to Your Lordship's notice.
Yes.
Your Lordships, on the merits of the matter, there's a Supreme Court judgment at page 400, Your Lordships. This was a matter with regard to central government employees of the Customs Department.
No, what is the policy in question here? Which is
There's no policy. What
There's
we
no
are
policy.
asking from Your Lordships, what we are asking is that there should be a spousal transfer policy, especially in hospitals, because these are nurses which have very
spousal transfer policy, meaning
thereby, if one spouse is posted in one hospital, the other spouse should be given an opportunity to seek a transfer to the same hospital. Like we have in civil servants here.
the hospital in question being AIIMS here.
AIIMS and JPMIR, these are all central government hospitals, Your Lordships. It's not just limited to AIIMS.
But isn't AIIMS governed by its own rules and regulations?
Yes, it's under its own statute. So the statute also has conditions of service to be provided, Your Lordships. So in the conditions of service, Your Lordships, we are praying. This is like a Vishaka thing.
So assuming one spouse is say posted in Delhi.
Yes.
And the other one is in some other center. Say in Tamil Nadu.
So DOPT regulations for the central government employees provides that there can be a transfer if you're a central government employee versus a central government employee wherever, like IS officers.
But then can AIIMS be clubbed with other central government hospitals?
Yes, Your Lordships, because I'll show from the statute it's
Is that the issue?
Yes. It's controlled by central government.
Before my learned senior proceeds, my lords, it's at the end of the day a question of conditions of service. So, per se,
Yes.
the High Court won't have any jurisdiction. It'll have to go to the tribunal, my lords.
No, this is an
It'll have to
article.
go to the administrative tribunal, my lords.
It's an Article
concerns
15 rights
conditions
that
of
have been
service, my
made.
lords. Under L. Chandrakumar also, conditions of service, it's best with the tribunal, my lords, on the administrative tribunal side.
So here the
I wouldn't know personally.
association is canvassing the interests of its members. There's no particular.
My lords,
There's no
the association.
cause of action attributable to any particular person here.
Per se, my lords, the association can also approach the tribunal on behalf of its members. It happens routinely. At the end of the day, the question is, my lords, it's recruitment conditions.
Are matters concerning the employees of AIIMS subject to jurisdiction of the
It is, my lords.
Your Lordships, but
AIIMS is notified in this.
I'm
AIIMS is
agitating
notified under
here
the
an
administrative
Article
tribunal.
15 and an Article 21 right. This is much more than a simplistic condition of service. This is a women's empowerment issue. This is an issue under Article 21 because Lordships have held that right to family is a part of my right to life, to live with dignity, Your Lordships. Plus, it's a special provision that will be required to be made under Section 50, Article 15, Your Lordships. So this is a constitutional issue, much more a constitutional issue than a bare conditions of service issue.
All this can be adjudicated by the tribunal, my lords. All these issues can be adjudicated by the tribunal, my lords.
Your Lordships, whether the tribunal adjudicates
powers-
it or Your Lordships jurisdiction cannot be taken away.
But my lords, efficacious.
It's the same
remedies
thing.
will have to be exercised. Other alternate efficacious remedies will have to be exercised before powers under 2 to 6 hours.
Not efficacious. What is efficacious is the
See,
jurisdiction.
the only problem with what you're saying is this is not strictly a service matter.
My lords, per se, it's strictly a service matter
No.
because at the end of the day, they're asking that they should be allowed transfer. DHOS work is already available under policy. Transfer, my lords, is an incidence of service itself. There cannot be any service unless there's transfer.
By that analogy, Vishaka was also purely conditions of service, Your Lordships. But that was again a writ jurisdiction which was exercised because there's a vacuum here. This is not as if they have a policy and I'm challenging the policy. That would probably be more appropriately dealt with by the tribunal. Here there is a vacuum. I am coming to Your Lordships in Your Lordships constitutional jurisdiction. This is not something which is a per se condition of service. So even Vishaka was with regard to conditions of service, safety
They're
at
asking for a
workplace.
positive direction that you frame a policy to effectuate their Article 15 right.
My lords, but still, my
That
lords,
is,
we have.
may not fall strictly within the jurisdiction of them. You file a counter, we'll see.
In fact, your lordship,
My rights
the
for
prayers
jurisdiction may be left.
in a writ also,
Raise it,
B
Demure.
and C especially, that would not be maintainable. Prayer B and C.
Sorry?
Prayer B and C itself would not be maintainable in a writ jurisdiction, your lordship.
That's precisely what I'm saying is amenable to Lordship's jurisdiction. Lordships may see.
You're right, it would not be maintainable before CAT.
No, even in a writ jurisdiction, this to issue guidelines, especially C. So, she's seeking appropriate writ order direction under
The
Article.
petitioner is seeking a positive direction.
to issue guidelines. So the court is to issue guidelines, not the authority or the. This itself would make the writ
The thing
non-maintainable.
is, the plea is that to give effect to the petitioner's Article 15 right, you must, a positive direction is short that you be directed to frame guideline or adopt the DOPT guideline.
Please,
So at the end
and
of
in
the day,
Vishaka
only
also, your Lordships,
central government or AIIMS would formulate the policy or guidelines, your lordship.
Yes,
Not the
yes,
court.
that's what they want you. That's what
Yes.
they want you to do.
So in fact, there is a RTI they have already filed.
You are for AIIMS. Who's for AIIMS?
I'm for respondent 3 AIIMS Delhi, my lord.
For AIIMS.
I'm-
Delhi.
Only for AIIMS Delhi.
You should be supporting the petitioner.
My lords, on merits, my lords, what the case is, the assumption that they're going on is that all AIIMS are connected. But in reality, my lords,
Assumption that is going on is
all AIIMS are connected, my lords. AIIMS, Rishikesh, Bhubaneswar, all of them are connected. But in reality, each AIIMS is a constituent autonomous body on its own, having distinct cadres, distinct seniority lists. Conditions of service may also be different. In those circumstances, what they're taking analogy is from the All India services. The All India services, my lords, is a common All India cadre. They have a common All India seniority list, which allows, and my lords, when you get appointed under the IAS, you have an All India transfer liability also. On the other hand,
no,
my lords,
every AIIMS is governed by a different set of statutes, is it?
they have their own, they're all autonomous, my lords.
What do you mean?
AIIMS,
Autonomous under
statutes
what?
are fun.
a nurse, my lords, employed by AIIMS Delhi.
They are operating under the framework of a statute? Or
Yeah,
what?
there's a statute, my lords.
Wait, there's a common statute for all the
There is a
AIIMS.
common statute under which all AIIMS are constituted.
So why can't there be some common service rules?
My lords, the common service rules are not there because a nurse appointed in AIIMS New Delhi has no transfer liability that she can be transferred out of AIIMS New Delhi to AIIMS Bhubaneswar.
So every AIIMS frames is its own service rule.
Well, as the service rules may be adopted, but each AIIMS has to adopt its own service.
I will.
They may be common or similar, but they have to be adopted each by their own respective governing bodies. There is no super body which will undertake the exercise of monitoring.
How many staff members are there? How many nursing staffs are there who have their spouses also in?
Your Lordships everywhere. That's the problem. One person is in Delhi, another gets his appointment because these are exams.
The only difficulty is that you don't want transfer from one AIIMS to another AIIMS. You want
It has
another
to be. That is what we are asking because even in central government, what is permissible, and these are also permissible.
Assuming you
by
are
way
in
of-
AIIMS Delhi
Yes, sir.
and your spouse is in Tamil Nadu,
Yes,
central
sir.
government hospital,
Yes,
not
sir.
AIIMS.
Yes, your Lordships.
Then you want that you be transferred
Yes, because your
to
Lordship.
another central government hospital.
Yes, that's what happens to IAS officers. You are Tamil Nadu cadre and you're Delhi cadre. Your cadre itself is changed.
That's a common service, no?
No.
Common all
but
India.
this is also common, comes under
Not
the
in all
common
India.
control.
No, I mean,
It's common control. It's only for the purposes of administration of the property and the institution regionally. These are like regional centers having autonomy or under the parent act.
let the counter come, we'll see.
Yes,
Under
there's a
IAS,
parent act.
There is a UPSC which undertakes the
Under
exercise.
this-
Yeah, my lord,
I'll
there's
be-
I
no-
appeal for union,
No,
lordship.
normal date. Yes.
And there's a common
appeal for
board
union.
also, your Lordships.
Yes.
Grateful. Your Lordships is
September.
making it returnable in.
19 September. Item 36.
Lordships,
Exemption is allowed.
little earlier than 9.
That's what I was talking. When you wanted July and
Yes,
July and
30 July.
yes.
very grateful.
Pleasure. Item 36.
Grateful.